Hi, this is Ira, and this is the class outline. Let me start with the learning objective. The top-level learning objective is to learn the 21st century communication skills needed to thrive in our hyper-connected digital world. Since everyone is at a different level, there are learning objectives for beginners and learning objectives for masters. The learning objectives for beginners are: improve perception skills so you can improve your information gathering abilities. Improve reading and writing skills to improve your message encoding and decoding abilities. Improve noise reduction skills so you can better adjust for biases. Improve feedback skills so you can improve your learning. And finally, improve your fundamental information processing skills. This includes improving your thinking skills and improving your information search skills. The master's learning objectives are: understanding the history of communication studies so you can better predict the future of communication and information. Understand the natural laws of communication and information so you can predict likely outcomes of communication. Understand the current theories of communication and information so you can best match the skill to the situation. This class attempts to answer the question, how do we improve our lives? The answer to that question this class provides is: an improved life comes from good decisions. Good decisions come from good information, and good information comes from good communication. There are two sections in this class: communication skills and communication theories. The communication skills section describes the specific communication skills we need to master. The communication theory section describes the current thinking on why and how we communicate. Understanding communication theory is essential to knowing which communication skill to apply in which situation. The key is to master as many communication skills as possible, because you never know which one will be the best skill to use in that particular situation. The second section looks at communication theory. This theory section is further broken into three subsections: skill groupings, communication levels, and communication models. The skills grouping section focuses on perception, processing, encoding and decoding, noise reduction, and feedback. The communication levels are intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, team and group communication, and public communication. Understanding the different levels is important because the different levels require different skills. The skills to master public communication differ from those to master interpersonal communication. So understanding the levels will help you pick the best skill to use. Intrapersonal communication is what goes on inside of you. It is what you are thinking and feeling. There is always a constant flow of communication in intrapersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is what goes on between just two people. Just you and another person are engaged in the communication, and no one can overhear that communication. The key to understanding interpersonal communication is to understand that it is totally private. For example, you're driving a car with just one other person, or in a telephone conversation where only the two of you can hear the conversation. This is important because if only the two of you can hear the communication, then the sender can target the message for that receiver alone. Where intrapersonal communication is just one person and interpersonal is just two people, group communication is anything more than two people. Team communication differs from interpersonal communication because the opportunities for misunderstanding increase geometrically along with the number of people participating in the group. And then finally, we're going to talk about public communication. Public communication is one way. Public communication is asynchronous. There's no expectation of any feedback from the other parties. The next section of this class will discuss 3 different communication models. These models help us visualize how communication works and which skills apply to different situations. I present the models as an evolution from old linear models to newer interactive models, to brand new iterative fractal models. It's an evolution because the new models added to the previous models. They did not replace them. The linear model was first described by Aristotle 2,500 years ago. It stayed pretty much the same until the 1940s when Claude Shannon added noise to the model and provided the math and logic to reduce noise's negative influences. I'll then discuss the transactional model. The transactional model evolved the one-way linear model to include how two people interact. This model was developed in the 60s and 70s by people like Schramm and Berlow. Then we'll talk about the newest addition to communication models, the iterative fractal communication model. Using the iterative fractal model, you can see communication happens over time. It's one iteration on top of the other. This is where fractal math fits perfectly. An excellent example of fractals is the Mandelbrot set. It uses the equation the function of z equals z squared plus c. The fractal communication suggests the function of communication is to achieve a goal. The communication efficiency is measured by how each iteration moves closer or further to that goal.